spider-bot fragment you found has a satellite-based GPS module that regularly pushed its location to a specific ground station.
A secret location? None of this makes sense. We better go check it out.
Pushing you the ground station's coordinates.
In the old days, I assume Albion's agent was leaking stories to the press about how our favourite private militia was being tamped up by Barcelona. The government panics and thinks, well, we better get them signed up before it's too late. But still, violent crime, a record low, although I imagine that probably depends exactly how you count it. If you include violent crime committed by the state, either themselves or via Albion, their chosen violent crime contractors who provide such a very valuable bargain service of beating people up, well, it's probably not quite as low in the figures.
I don't know. I think they're probably right. Who has the opportunity to commit violent crime these days anyway? The moment you pick up a fruit knife, you get tasered by a robot policeman and reported for looking Bulgarian. It's a much more peaceful society. It's just much less of a society.
I want to know the details of the contracts. Alice, I mean, are they paid per dissident duffed up? Is it a set rate for each extrajudicial state mugging? And what is that rate? What do you think?
Well, they certainly look like they're trying to hit a quota of some kind.
Well, what is the set rate? Is it, 99.95 cryptos bargain? Seems very reasonable indeed. I imagine they don't ask too.
The GPS history of the spider-bot we recovered regularly pinged these coordinates. Our mystery witness to the real bombers must have come to this lovely, damp location several times.
It's remote. Good place to fly under the radar.
Or to discreetly dump a body into the Thames.
Now to find a way in.
I'm detecting a surveillance network guarding a space under this bridge. If you can patch into it, perhaps you can take a look inside.
Oh, never mind. Is there anyone else I can talk to? Yes, of course. There's a shady cabal of vested interest in controlling and propping up in power. Great, I'll have a chat with them then.
Oh, and you remember when you'd get away with prank calls without people coming around to your house to beat the shit out of you?
Oh, happy times.
You're listening to the bar.
Did you think the Prime Minister will ever come back?
I don't think we've ever had a Prime Minister.
Well, that's a much more reassuring way of looking at things. What have we become? Alice, you look at the state of our politics. We're supposed to have the Mother of Parliament. Well, this is one mother that has emphatically abandoned her kids in the woods to be brought up by wolves. And let me tell you, that never works out like it does in the stories. Wolves are bad parents, unless you're a wolf, in which case they can do a job bringing you up as a wolf. Do not give your children to wolves. And do we actually own anything as a country now? Is there anything we haven't slogged off for profit? I think we've basically just become a homeopathic Britain. Diluted until there's barely a trace of the original Britain left. But some quackish lunatics insist it actually works better that way. It's total bullshit. Is there anything left? New on the bug this week, a new feature, the Bug Off feature. The person who was most irritated in Britain this week, we're going to tell the Bug Off, and to set things going, I'm going to nominate Big Nigel Catholic. This is Britain. History tells us this place is a bastion of freedom. I'm just not sure that that kind of freedom should involve Big Nigel expressing his freedom to run a private army. I guess historically there is a precedent, the East India Company. That was a trading house with an army of 250,000 soldiers, which is a lot for a company. The Bugs PLC has Alice with a water pistol. But truthfully, compared with Albion, the East India Company didn't operate its $250,000 army in London. It did it a long way away, out of sight, out of mind. Anyone to nominate for the Bug Off, Alice?
I think today's Bug Off for me goes to my streaming service. I'm sick of being recommended things based on things I already like. The other day it recommended me to watch a reality TV competitive dating show set in a nude commune. Andy, I watched it and I liked it, and I do not want to be the kind of person who enjoys nude competitive reality television dating shows. I did not want to know that about myself. I have to go sit in the corner and cry.
That's it from the Bug. Don't forget the live show that is so secret it is definitely not happening at the usual time and place this month. Definitely not. And definitely do not tell anyone not to come to it. It's definitely not happening. Usual time and place. Bye-bye.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Pat, on Buccaneer. Your source for what they don't want you to know.
This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the DVB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to compensate corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the DVB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak in conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was a voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster, the most important thing is to keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible. That meant
you were obliged to follow any and all directives from Albion personnel. Failure to do so will have consequences.
The trouble is, we were telling the truth. It's very hard.
The news isn't neutral, it's a battleground. Here's media researcher and academic output.
The media has, of course, been perhaps the key way in which government has controlled and influenced their population. So, totalitarian countries have particularly used huge mainstream media outlets to sell one kind of news, one kind of biased news to the populace. Of course, the media has always played some key role in methods of state control. I think what's happening now is perhaps even more concerning, where previously in pre-crisis Britain we've had perhaps more diverse voices in the media, but now with the DBD, therefore only getting one truth, so people end up with a very biased and controlled idea of the reality and the world that we're actually living in. There was, of course, many concerns and many problems, but in a way there were some positive things that not all information is coming from one place. And so you have kind of far-right media outlets developing and then left-wing media outlets developing to combat those.
Interesting.
Newspapers, TV stations, radio, and make sure people were questioning the validity and truth. So whilst there was the digital afforded more fake information, it also makes us suspicious and sceptical of information and makes us question the information we're getting. And I think in pre-crisis Britain it might not seem great at the time, but there was something positive about that there was a lot of distrust in the media. Whereas now, I think we're seeing a return to a more typical and older trusting what they're told, and that's why we have to do the radio station situations like this, the current those citizens would feel pretty hopeless at this and unable to fight back.
Look here! Here! Profile is triggered an alert.
No way! I'm leaving! Scan it again!
He's quiet! Under arrest! Please! Whoa!
You can only oppress the people for so long.
You piece of shit! Alright, get a move on.
I'm frightened!
Target has escaped.
Track him down! Drone, begin a search.
Well, tiddle me bollocks. It's like a wee little cop station here. What's it doing, I wonder?
Well, if Albion was stomping all over your workplace, you'd find a different place to store your lunch too. And it seems our mystery officer was dedicated.
Sure, I'm with you. But what were they working on that would lead them to the town bombing?
The computer's dusty enough to kill an asthmatic, but there may still be something useful on it.
This is Inspector Caitlin Lau. Well, former inspector now. Since Albion's coup, the Met is no more. The police brass had already buried the evidence anyway. Everything implicating Albion and Clan Kelly in the bombings. But I know Mary Kelly's band of twats were involved, and they're involved in other crimes we can look into. Me and a few good mates are willing to go off book, going after Mary Kelly again. I'll never fucking learn, will I? Inspector Caitlin Lau, video log. Clan Kelly and Albion are teamed up on some deal. I don't have all the details, but it looks to be human trafficking. The European Processing Center is the Albion angle. Since the bombings, they can grab anyone off the street. Call them illegal immigrants, potential DedSec insurgents, whatever. Though we know who the real danger is. So, Clan Kelly gets hold of these people, these immigrants, deportees, victims, really, and they're taking them somewhere. But where and why? It all comes back to the boss lady herself. I knew she was into something, but she wriggled off the hook. There's only one way I can do this. 24/7 surveillance on Mary Kelly. If I'm caught, well, this will be my last entry. But I have to see what she's hiding.
Jesus, that hurt like hell. But nothing cures the pain like cracking some skulls. Good to have you back, pal. Try staying in one piece this time, yeah?
So, our mystery officer was Inspector Caitlin Lau. It sounds like Mary Kelly was her white whale, and her investigation led her to the bombings.
Ah, this is all starting to come together. I knew Albion were grade A cunts, but working with Clan Kelly gives them something to hide.
It seems like 0 Days Web covers all of the unsavoury bits of London. Tug on a thread, and it leads back to them. Clan Kelly and Albion included.
They're taking people off the streets. 0 Day or not, we have to do something.
Inspector Lau mentioned Albion is running their part of the operation out of the EPC. Detectives like us call that a lead.
God, get that APW out!
This Albion Clan Kelly business leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And if Caitlin Lau's right, then this little nugget jumps to the front of the queue. We have reason to believe a former DedSec operative may still be alive, but missing inside the EPC.
Angel Lopez, not London born, but I won't hold that against him, unlike some others.
Looks like Angel got caught up in the immigration roundup, which, ironically, may be the only reason he escaped 0 Days DedSec purge.
Anti-immigrant sentiment has grown in London since the bombings. Albion fuels it. It allows them to send anyone they want to their brutal refugee camp.
We need to find Angel before they discover he's DedSec. This is kind of personal team. But finding his trail might just shed some light on the Albion Clan Kelly connection.
Shit. Well, good news it is. Deportees aren't leaving the UK. They just chuck them in the EPC and then they look the other way.
I've sent the details to your device and advised our contact at the EPC. They can get you inside.
Joining me, as always, is Alice. And Alice, hold the front page. Technology, apparently. It's here to stay. There's no way around that now. Much as I'd like to go back to the 18th century and see if we can have another crack at the Industrial Revolution and get it later on this time. But new tech is creating 4,000 jobs. Count them all, 4,000. 4,000 new jobs, thanks to this new tech investment.
I mean, that's a very exciting thing if you're someone who wants to work in the tech sector, but I can only assume that this tech investment has created 4,000 jobs that will immediately be taken by robots.
Even if they're not the jobs that no one in their right side to do, but that's the price of progress, I guess.
Neutralizing hostile target.
Taking over everything because because maybe this is technology will in fact render us all obsolete. Human beings, they're always involved whenever anything goes wrong from the very dawn of time. And think of this. And if you have an automated Prime Minister, you could program it to be occasionally in the goddamn country.
Again, I insist that there's never been a Prime Minister, Andy. I've never seen him, I've never heard of him. The only times I ever hear what the Prime Minister does is it's when nothing happens.
I mean, it has reached the point where, and I've thought this for a long time, we would be better off if the Prime Minister was a watermelon. No, it would be, I think we'd all be happy with that. We'd all know where we stood.
You hear him being praised for his diplomatic skills all the time, but the best mark of diplomacy is when nothing happens. So good diplomacy is indistinguishable from him doing absolutely nothing.
You are listening to The Bug. 4,000 new dream jobs for everyone. All I can say, Alice, is that I'm very glad that my children studied drama at school, because that has set them up for life in modern Britain. That is the one core skill they need, the ability to pretend that they are living happy and fulfilled lives, that they have jobs that are worth doing.
Have you been feeling unsafe? Albion is here to help.
This day and age. Of course, it's not just the jobs that have been technologicalised beyond all recognition. It is also all reality. Thanks once again to Optic. According to Bloom, the Optic system is now the most secure it's ever been. And, well, of course, I mean, it's so convenient.
Oh, forgiveness, mate. Thank you so much for time.
It's a 10 minute.
But at least I don't have to fight my nearest coffee shop into a work. At least I don't have to wait every day going online because I don't have to make a bowl of food. At least I'm putting away my stuff.
It's more secure than a teenage girl reading a women's magazine. It's more secure than a comedian with a drinking problem. It's more secure than a young man who's just got his first motorcycle license.
Finally, before we go today, bug off to the Prime Minister, who has once again FRO'd to who knows where this week. He sure as hell is not here in London. I remember back in the day, Alice, when our Prime Ministers were either incompetent or crooked, but not both at once. But actually, no, I can't remember them being both at once. But incompetent, crooked, and not even in the country. That is one impressive triple whammy. I've had lying longer than his longest spell on British soil in this last year. It's this halfway house I can't stand. Either come back and do your job or leave the planet entirely. I'm pretty sure there must be a spare space station knocking around where he can go and entertain himself for the rest of the time. Can we crowdfund it? Tell you what, let's make a cryptocurrency out of something and crowdfund it that way. What have you got spare?
So, I've delved more into Caitlin Lau's investigation, and an enormous number of missing person cases centre around the EPC. The inspector was definitely onto something.
So let's find that guy and get out fast. If they work out Angel's DedSec before we find them. The nicest thing they'll do is kill him.
What's an arsehole?
keep our eyes peeled. What? Area clear. Moving on. No room for error here. What's going on? Where the hell are they? Stick to procedure.
Suspect reported in your area, potentially armed and hostile.
Officer in critical condition. Critical. Over. Bloody rat. Control, please advise. Suspect is evading. Control, we are pursuing the suspect. Over.
Control, I can't see the suspect. Please advise.
Units, prepare to stop the vehicle.
Control, we're pursuing the suspect.
Eyes on target. They've crossed checkpoint. Target has cleared the checkpoint. Over.
I'm in pursuit of the target.
Repairing to intercept vehicle.
Suspect has left the vehicle. Now on foot. Over.
You made me do this. No! Shit! Officer down! Officer down! There's our suspect. Over. Be advised, we are on the trail.
Control, let's put out an APW. We're getting nowhere here.
Tech that she's put out into the world.
I've always found it a bit creepy. that she's so obsessed with this idea of transhumanism.
Why wouldn't you be? When you've got a mind as amazing as Sky's, why wouldn't you want to take what you've got and actually augment it by working with technology, by improving your physical self, changing your body and the world around you, implementing more technology to extend your life and really sort of extend human capabilities?
You sound pretty much in love with Sky Larson, I have to say.
I can't comment on that, but I am a big fan of her work. She's been one of these people that has transformed the world around us, and just watching how her mind works from afar is pretty incredible, because some of what the technology she's introduced has changed how we all live our lives, and Bagley has been this really incredible assistance to humanity as a whole. Did I ever tell you that I actually interviewed Sky Larson once?
Really? I thought she never spoke to the media or anything.
So this was a long time ago, back in the day when she was a little bit more accessible, and she was one of these people that just had an amazing presence. You were inspired by her very being, and she was just incredibly talented and knowledgeable, and one of possibly the best living people that I've ever met.
I'm not sure you're being too objective there. I mean, I imagine she's not very likeable as a person.
She obviously despises humanity in some ways. I think she believes that becoming data is preferable to being human. She's one of these people who's extremely methodical in everything that she does, and she does everything to perfection and really tries to change the world around her and make it a better place for us to live in.
If you say so.
Any violence against Albion personnel will be met with force.
The Bug. Objective voice of objection for a most objectionable world. Hello, Bugsters. Welcome to The Bug, the comedy show that holds up the Medusa of satire to the already immovably concrete face of modern Britain. I'm Andy, I bench 480, and I can crack a tree in half just by looking at it. Can I? Well, what is reality anymore, anyway? Alice, what do you bench?
I bench body weights.
What?
Not my body weight.
Okay.
Body weight of a baby.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to give that kind of detail. Just
It's very
body weight.
impressive. People look at me and go, where did you get that baby?
Yeah. You are listening to The Bug.
In this week's Truth News, according to